Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Tuesday, September 22nd. You can see temperatures in the upper 40s to around 50 degrees, and that's just a little bit above normal for normal lows, which now are in the mid to upper 40s. And over the next 7 days, just a fantastic weather pattern that's shaping up. And for this last day of summer, it looks like we'll have high temperatures in the low to mid 70s across the area. And we're going to see temperatures well into the 70s right on through early next week. And I think by early next week, in fact, we could even break 80 degrees for a couple of days or more as a very warm pattern sets up with high pressure off to the southeast. And that'll give us a nice southwest flow right on through early next week. And we'll see temperatures again continue to warm a little bit here over the next several days. If we take a look at the regional look across the Great Lakes, you can see temperatures mainly in the 40s and 50s. Warmer off to the west with the southwest breeze. You can see temperatures in the western end of the UP in the low 60s, but clouds and precipitation could be a possibility across the western part of the UP, but for most of the lower peninsula, it looks like we're going to be high and dry. If we take a look at the weather map, you can see high pressure is going to dominate much of the eastern United States. Weather systems with moisture coming out of the southwest from leftover tropical activity is going to stay well off to our northwest as low pressure systems will move up into Ontario. And about as close as it'll get to us will be across Wisconsin, the UP, and maybe a chance over the next few days of a few scattered showers across the northern part of the lower peninsula. But again, most areas in the lower peninsula are going to be high and dry into early next week. If we take a look at the forecast map for tomorrow, you can see high pressure off to the east, warm with increasing dew points here as we get later into the week. So in addition to the temperatures well into the 70s, we're going to have dew points up there a little bit, so it'll feel quite summery out there. And you can see all the showers and thunderstorms will continue to be well off to our west with some heavy rains into the mid and upper Mississippi Valley, into the upper Midwest, but again, not for our area. And if we take a look at the growing degree day information we have, this is the 19 growing seasons that we've had here. And you can see this year we're just about in the middle of the pack. I've been targeting the year 2008 as a year I think would be very similar to for a couple of months now. And we're actually a little bit on that pace, or a little above that pace actually. And with the warm weather we expect over the next couple of weeks, we might even make a run at 2006. And if we were to surpass that, that would put us in the top 50% of the last 19 years. But still, we're in great shape. If we take a look at the close-up 50% plant date here in Breckenridge, you can see we are way above last year for sure, and certainly way ahead of some of the cold years that we've had in prior. Still a little bit below normal, but again, with that surge of warmth coming over the next couple of weeks, we're going to get closer and closer. Like I said, I don't think we'll ever make normal, but with the perfect rains that we've had for the most part here in mid-Michigan, that's not going to be a big deal at all. If we take a look at the location of Blissfield, you can see they're certainly well ahead of last year. They're in great shape. Again, their biggest problem was the excessive rainfall they had during the late spring and early summer during about a 6-week period there. And if we look at Brown City, way ahead of not only this year, but even ahead of 2013, which is a pretty decent year. And again, way ahead of last year. And for Newaygo, again, well ahead of last year. All of our locations are doing much better than last year. And for the most part, with a great abundance of rain, we're in good shape. If we look at the next 6 to 10 days, you can see, or actually this would be the 7-day forecast of precipitation. You can see for the most part from the southwest states, not much precipitation here in Texas, but certainly looks pretty dry across much of the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes area off into New England. And you can see the precipitation will be heaviest across the upper Midwest into the mid and upper Mississippi Valley from that southwest moisture coming out of some tropical systems from the Pacific. And then the two areas that we really got to keep an eye on is going to be the Carolinas into Virginia, and then across the Gulf states. Over the next couple of weeks, we may very well see a tropical storm or even a hurricane. But certainly if we don't see that, we're certainly going to see enough tropical activity to produce an awful lot of rainfall, I think, across the Gulf states. And that happens when we get big height rises over the northern U.S. this time of year. Usually allows those waves, tropical waves in the Atlantic, to move right into the U.S., either through the Gulf or into the southeast states rather than curving back out into the Atlantic. So again, the next 2 or 3 weeks, some of these areas could be under the gun for some tropical activity. Thanks for stopping by and have a great Tuesday, and 73s to all.